So Jason's over here, and they've got this breaching trailer, and we're going to show you how to set everything up. So it comes with a tongue trailer right here, as you can see. Easiest thing is get some extra blocks. So we're just going to go ahead and throw that underneath here, and all we're doing with that is basically just putting that down there, and that's going to go ahead and just let him get this trailer up off the ball. It's a 2-inch receiving ball. You can see he's pulling the pin out, so the pin's going to come out. Once you do that, you have to obviously open that up, which is going to then release that from the ball on the truck. You can see it came loose from there. All right. So from there, we're just going to leave it there. He's going to unplug here. On the new ones, you got to be careful because they're not like they were back in the day. So you want to try to support it when you pull it out so you don't break it. Wrap it around so it doesn't get beat up or crimped. And then you want to go ahead and take off your toe chains. And usually we just go ahead and put them up out of the way, as you can see, so that way nobody trips on them. So you got that out of the way. He's going to go ahead and pull the truck forward. Once he does that, we'll lower this a little bit. And then once we lower that, we will go ahead and put our jack stands down. There's 4 jack stands on each corner of the trailer. So this is the Jersey Tactical breaching trailer. And you'll see that there's 4 in each corner to make it level for the person. So pretty easy to set up. So he's pulling out. He's going to go ahead and go forward. From here, we're going to go ahead and lower this simply by just cranking it down. So one of the things that's important to know about this is when you are doing a trailer, obviously you want it to be level. You want to set it up on a level spot the best that you can. The other thing also is when you put the jack stands down in each corner, you want to try to go ahead and have the trailer somewhat level. It just makes it easier to drop these stands down. So we'll start back here in the corner. So you take this pin and the pin comes out and it just rotates down, as you can see right here. So that rotates out and then you just line it back up and you put this pin back in. And then from here we'll just crank on it a few times and our first support is up. We're all up and running. Pretty easy so far. We'll come over here, repeat the same thing. So we're going to do this basically 4 times. Again, take up a little bit of the slack here, pull the pin out, let it rotate down. And then we're going to go ahead and line up the hole. And again, we're going to crank this up like such, just to go ahead and give it a little bit of support. So now we've got the back 2 corners done. All right. Repeat it up here. We'll repeat it up here. Same procedure. So you can see 2 people literally, under a minute set this up. That's about where you want to be. The most important thing is, you can see over here, is the tires. You want to come up off the ground so that basically you're taking the suspension of the trailer, the over-the-road trailer, and you're taking it out of play. If you don't get it to where the tires come slightly off the ground or the pressure comes off the ground, what will happen is the inertia will be robbed on your trailer because the suspension on the trailer is taken away from it. It doesn't work like a real door. So the most important thing is basically make sure your jack stands have the weight of the trailer supporting it. And then also, obviously, you want to make it so it's nice and level. So you walk around, you eyeball, it doesn't have to be perfect. You see this might be a little low, so we'll crank this up a little bit. And we should be pretty good. You can see that tire is just barely off the ground. Usually one of the tires is usually coming off the ground because the ground's usually not always perfectly level. So you're not going to have both tires off the ground. Normally you'll probably have one slightly off the ground. You can see at this point it's very stable, ready to go. So the next thing is Jason's going to go ahead. He's going to take off these super easy. It's stabilized so he can climb up there or he can go ahead and do it from the side. It's heavy, so however the person wants to do it. There's 2 pins, so you definitely want to support it. It's all steel. There's 2 handles right here. He's going to pick this up, and then he's just going to simply put it right into these 2 receivers. And you can sit it like that, or you can replace the pins back in there so you don't lose them. So the most important thing about that is when you're going to take this at the end of the day and move it, you want to make sure that you put that back. Sounds simple, but again, you want to make sure that you don't leave this hanging off the back of the trailer. So that's the most important thing, is basically go ahead and put the stair back.
I just replace these so I don't lose them.
Yep, yeah, replace it with the pins, right? And literally that's your steps. Your steps are all set up, super easy. You can see how strong they are, good to go. He'll do the exact same thing now in the front. So he's gonna do the same thing in the front with the same set of steps. So again, he's basically got 2 sets of steps and it's set up relatively fast. We're going a little slower than normal just because we're walking everybody through it. So he's going to do that. He'll replace the pins and we're up and running. So pretty simple. Again, want to make sure that everybody understands how to set this up safely. A couple things to point out while he's doing that are, obviously pinch points. You want to watch your fingers when you're doing that together because obviously the pieces of steel being inserted into each other. Now, before you start using it, you want to take a quick check of the actual trailer. Make sure all your jacks are in place. Make sure your pins are in place and nothing's loose, right? So you want to make sure that everything's good to go. If you're up in the Northeast where we were at and this thing's out in the weather or it had some snow or some ice, you want to make sure, obviously, that you've removed anything that's slippery. We're underneath cover here, but you can still see that there's some moisture from condensation. So depending on how slippery it is, you want to make sure your students are aware of that, or you can wipe it off depending on whatnot. Non-slip tread, non-slip grip on the trailer itself. So we would come up here. No, we're good. All right, so if we were going to take this over the road, say we had to, take it somewhere, and we wanted to travel it, like Oklahoma State Police have some of our doors, and they transport them to different places. If you have it set up on a trailer and you don't want to disassemble it, or you're using our trailer, the easiest way is to go ahead and strap this here with a ratchet strap, just like this. That's the reason why the door opens up on this angle for mobility. So you can literally just put a ratchet strap around here and then ratchet strap it in place. And what that's going to allow you to do is basically trailer this over the road without any wind drag. So you'll be all good to go. It's going to trailer and then you'll have no issues. We just literally went from New Jersey to Florida for 2 weeks and everywhere in between. Not a single issue with that setup. So pretty simple to use. We're going to just use basically some shims. So this will be some of the material we'll use. Or pre-packaged ones like that. They got different sizes. Or you can buy what's called lath. All that information is on the website. So that's some of the material we'll use for the training today. Some of the other material we'll use are wooden dowels. So you can buy them pre-cut, or you can buy full-length ones and cut them yourself. So a 3/4 to a 1/2 inch for the locking mechanism up top. The biggest component that you'll need is right here, which is your furring strips. So this will be, they come general box stores, your Lowe's, Home Depot, so forth. So they come in bundles like this, and then what you do is you take your circular saw or any type of saw, and then you're just going to cut them ahead of time in length. So we'll do that next, and then we'll get these guys up and running. All the specs on the type of wood that you want to use is on our instructions on our website, jerseytactical.com. You can also find the written safety instructions, even assembly of the door and things of that nature on our YouTube channel, which is all found at our website, jerseytactical.com. What we're going to do is we're going to cut some of this material up and we're going to start training on the door with these guys. So, nothing rocket science. So there's our first bundle, 1x2s. All right, these are called furring strips. You can see right here, there's 100 different companies that make them. This is what we recommend using for this particular prop, our breaching door, which is on the trailer. So cut them apart and then you can just snap them out and then you're up and running. So here's our first set. So pretty fast, right? Pretty easy to do. The other thing is also iPro. You always have to have iPro on when you're either doing that or using our gear. ANSI rated or higher. So that's obviously in our instructions, but everybody's got to have iPro when we're using the equipment in the trailer. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to rig a couple more pieces real fast just with some of those score marks, and then we're going to get up and get everybody some reps, okay? And we're going to also show a couple different techniques and let everybody explore with some stuff if that makes sense, okay? We're just going to go ahead and do some quick score marks like that. We'll go ahead and rotate it over. So we made some easy pieces, nice and easy peasy. And obviously that could be from the lower shims or that lath all the way up to these to the full pieces. So we get that whole progression. Point of contact, I'm bending over. I'm going to pick up some different shims. These are super cheap, super easy to find. You guys are more than capable of doing this. We're going to rig it so it's just your general office door. So we're going to go ahead and put 3 pieces of shim in there. So fairly decent door, nothing crazy, but it will take some energy to go ahead and pop this open. Snap or gap. So from there you can either do a downward gap or snap. Yep. Right from there. Yep. Yep. Perfect. Good. Good. And now we're going to 90 and a downward gap.